The words hung in the air, sharp and cold like freshly fallen snow. "It's over," she said, her voice barely a whisper. John felt a chill run down his spine, numbing him from the inside out. It was over. Just like that, their future together, once vibrant and full of promise, had vanished like smoke. The first few days were a blur. John moved through his routine like a ghost, the world around him muted and distant. The apartment, once filled with laughter and shared dreams, now echoed with emptiness. Every corner held a memory, each one a fresh stab to his already wounded heart. Sleep eluded him. He would lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, replaying every moment, every conversation, searching for a sign, a reason why. Had he missed the signs? Had he not been enough? The questions swirled in his mind, offering no solace, only deepening his despair. Friends reached out, offering words of comfort and support, but their words seemed to fall on deaf ears. How could they understand the depth of his pain, the hollowness that had taken root deep within him? He was lost, adrift in a sea of sorrow, with no land in sight. As days turned into weeks, a flicker of resolve began to stir within John. He couldn't stay lost in this abyss of despair forever. He had to find a way out for himself. He started small. He forced himself to get out of bed, to eat, to go for walks. The walks became his sanctuary. He would walk for hours, letting the rhythm of his footsteps quiet his racing thoughts. The world was still there, moving around him, and slowly he began to notice it again. The changing colours of the leaves, the laughter of children playing in the park, the simple beauty of the everyday. One day he found himself drawn to a local bookstore. He had always loved to read, but somewhere along the way he had lost himself in the routine of life. He spent hours browsing the shelves, his fingers trailing along the spines of the books, each one a portal to another world, another life. He left the store with an armful of books, a sense of hope beginning to bloom in his chest. As he immersed himself in the stories, he felt a connection, a sense of understanding. The characters he read about faced their own challenges, their own heartbreaks, and yet they persevered. Their stories reminded him that he was not alone, that pain was a part of life, but it didn't have to define him. Inspired by the stories he read, John decided to try something new. He had always been interested in photography, but had never pursued it beyond taking snapshots on his phone. He bought a used camera and enrolled in a beginner's photography class. The class became his refuge, a place where he could lose himself in the art of capturing light and shadow. He learned about composition, about framing a shot, about seeing the world through a different lens. And as he focused his lens on the world around him, something remarkable happened. He began to see the beauty in the everyday, the extraordinary in the ordinary. He started sharing his photos online, tentatively at first, unsure of how they would be received. To his surprise, people responded. They connected with his work, with the emotions he captured in his images. He received messages from strangers sharing their own stories of heartbreak and healing, thanking him for reminding them of the beauty that still existed in the world. For the first time since the breakup, John felt a sense of purpose, a sense of belonging. His photography wasn't just a hobby, it was a way for him to connect with others, to share his story, to offer a glimmer of hope to those who were hurting. He realized that his heartbreak, as painful as it had been, had opened his eyes to a different path, a path that led him to a passion he never knew he had. With newfound confidence, John decided to make a change. He had always dreamed of traveling, of experiencing different cultures and seeing the world. He had put it off, telling himself that he would do it someday. But the breakup had taught him that life was too short to wait for someday. He quit his job, sold his belongings and booked a one-way ticket to South America. It was a terrifying leap of faith, but it was also exhilarating. He was free, untethered, ready to embrace the unknown. He spent the next few months exploring ancient ruins, hiking through lush rainforests, and immersing himself in the vibrant cultures of South America. He met people from all walks of life, each encounter teaching him something new about himself, about the world, about the resilience of the human spirit. He documented his journey through his photography, his lens capturing the beauty of the landscapes, the warmth of the people, the spirit of adventure that now defined his life. His photos, once filled with a quiet melancholy, now radiated a sense of joy, a zest for life that was contagious.